Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today I will introduce the social cognitive theory SCT, a widely applied framework in psychology emphasizing self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to achieve goals, and outcome expectancy, which focuses on the anticipated consequences of action. SCT highlight how motivation is driven by forethought such as planning for future outcomes. This study aims to explore how SCT predicts and influences student behavior, focusing on attitudes and subjective norms. In education, SCT provides insight into student personalities and attitude while offering strategies to enhance learning environments and improve outcomes. Ultimately, SCT equips educators with tools to foster better learning and personal growth.
Today I will explain about the standard deviation. Standard deviation measures the degree of variation or dispersion in a dataset. For the self-efficacy, the highest average is 8.05. The highest standard deviation is 2.52, indicates greatest variability. Levels vary widely and suggesting potential extreme values. For the outcome expectancy, independence variables too, more stable with a smaller standard deviation than level IV1, still shows some fluctuations. For the observational learning, similar pattern as IV2, significant but more stable variability compared to IV1. For the educational behavior outcomes, dependent variables, lowest average is 6.15 and smallest standard deviation is 1.52, indicates high stability and predictability. Values cluster closely around the mean, indicating less variation compared to IVs. IV1 self-efficacy has the most significant variability and may strongly influence the independent variable. Next is minimum. Definition of minimum is the lowest data point in a dataset. It represents a key measure of data distribution and spread. For the self-efficacy, the estimate minimum is 3.01. It indicates significant variability. Suggest IV1 values can drop very low despite having the highest mean. For the outcome expectancy, IV2 estimated minimum is 2.38, indicates moderate variability. Values fluctuate but not as widely as IV1. Observational learning, IV3, estimated minimum is 2.90, indicates more concentrated values, still exhibits considerable variability. For the educational behavior outcomes, dependence variables, its estimated minimum is 3.12, indicates high stability and reliability. Values are less prone to abrupt fluctuations compared to IVs. For the conclude, IVs, especially IV1, exhibit greater variability with wider range, making them more unpredictable. The next is definition of maximum. Maximum represents the largest value in a dataset. It helps define the upper boundary of data distributions. For the self-efficacy, IV1, estimated maximum is 13.09, indicates a wide range and potential for high values. Outcome expectancy is for the IV2, estimated maximum is 10.85, shows moderate variability and potential for high values. For the third is observational learning, IV3, estimated maximum is 11.93. It indicates variability but not as wide as IV1. For the educational behavior outcomes, dependent variables, estimated maximum is 9.18, shows high stability and less potential for extreme values. IV1 has the highest potential value with a maximum of 13.09. DV has the smallest range, indicating stability and predictability. Independent variables, IV1, IV2 and IV3 show greater variability, while the dependent variable remains stable. The next is t-test. Definition of t-test. A t-test is a statistical method used to compare the average values of two groups to determine if there is a significant difference between them. For the analysis, it focuses on four variables: EBO1, EBO2, EBO3 and EBO4 by gender, male and female. Gender-based result. Females score higher but more inconsistently than males across most variables. For example, EBO1 females score higher 1.48 but with more variability than males, 1.33. EBO2 and EBO3 females had higher but more variable scores than males. EBO4 minimal gender differences in mean scores.
I'm gonna talk about normality test, Pearson correlation, and Cronbach alpha. For normality test, it confirms the data's normal distribution with a significant p-value of p greater than 0.05 for all variables. Histograms, box plots, and QQ graph show an almost normal distribution, making the data suitable for parametric analysis like Pearson correlation and regression analysis. Based on table for Pearson correlation is to reveal the connection between educational behavior outcomes, self-efficacy, outcome expectancy, and observational learning. EBO has no significant link with OE, while SE and OL show weak positive correlation. OE has a strong association with OL, while SE has a stronger relationships. SE is important as it has the strongest and most significant relationship with other variables in the data set. For Cronbach alpha measures the internal consistency or reliability of scale items. Scores below 0.6 indicate poor reliability, while values above 0.7 are considered satisfactory. IV2 and IV3 have a good and acceptable reliability, while IV1 has uncertain values, indicating inconsistencies. DV has poor reliability and significant inconsistencies. To improve lower variance scores, items should be examined, changed, or eliminated with the desired concept. Accurate and significant analysis depends on trustworthy scale. In addition, I will talk about regression coefficient and R-squared. For regression coefficients models, it measures the correlation between an independent variable and a dependent variable, indicating how much the dependent variable changes when the independent variable increases by 1 unit while keeping other predictors constant. There are two types of coefficients, which is standardized and unstandardized, with B representing the actual variable for each unit change in the independent variable, and beta expressing the correlation based on standard deviations. Statistical significance is evaluated using t-value and p-value, with poor p-values indicating a significant impact of the predator on the dependent variable. Lastly, for the t-test is a statistical tool used to determine the impact of predator variables on dependent variables. It is used to reject the null hypothesis, which holds if the regression coefficient is 0. The t-value calculated by dividing the coefficient by its standard error helps understand the strength of the links. A poor p-value less than 0.05 indicates that the influence may not be a result of chance, while a larger p-value may not indicate significance.
Now, continue the multicollinearity occur when independent variables in a regression model are highly correlated, making it difficult to access their individual impact. It is measured using tools like the variance inflation factor, where value over 10 or 30 indicate problems. To address multicollinearity, techniques like principal component analysis or combining correlated predictor can help. Resolving these issues ensure reliable regression result and accurate interpretation essential for effective data analysis. Next, about the hypothesis analysis, use a histogram and PEP plot to assess the normality of residuals. The histogram reveals a bell-shaped curve with residual center around 0, showing approximate normality despite slight skewness. This supports the validity of using t-test in regression. The PP plot compare observed and expected residual probabilities with data closely aligning along the 54 degrees line. Minor deviation at the endpoints have minimal impact on hypothesis testing. Overall, this analysis confirms that the residual meet the normality assumption, ensuring reliable result for regression models. In conclusion, social cognitive theory is a powerful framework for improving educational behavior, focusing on key constructs like self-efficacy, outcome expectancy, and observational learning. Self-efficacy plays a crucial role in student performance. Confident students are more likely to take on challenges and succeed, inspired by others' successes. However, data analysis reveals challenges such as a low R-square value indicating a poor model fit. But self-efficacy remains highly relevant in real-world educational contexts. Practically, SCT helps teachers create positive learning environments and provide insight for organizational training and personal growth beyond the classroom.